Hey guys, welcome to today's session, and I'm really glad that actually to tell you that I'm at Switzerland and in the campus of AUS, which actually now I would like to take this pleasure of actually introducing you to the Dean of Academic Affairs, Mr. Gadi Faraz. Hello, Gadi. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. Welcome to AUS. I'm so happy to have you here today.
It's my pleasure, Gadi.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Gadi, actually, I have been to the campus and it's superb. And also, I happen to speak to some of the students already studying here, some of the Indian students especially, and they're all really happy with the kind of assistance what you've been providing them, not only in terms of academic but also how to mingle in the social life. Thank you very much from the bottom of our heart.
It is our
For
pleasure.
making all this.
We feel like that is one of our value adds. We are a small community and we like to treat everybody like family. We get to know them by name. We check in on them, make sure people are going to class, make sure people are keeping up with everything that's going on. And we have a very small class size, so all of our faculty get to know their students individually.
Super. So coming to the programs, actually what's been offered in the masters, I have observed. So there are so many lucrative master programs actually. I must thank you first of all for getting such a good courses, like niche courses I would say, because you are ranging from aviation management, data analytics, international business, finance. So all the top-notch fields actually you're covering. So could you please elaborate something about
Sure,
this
and
master
that's
programs?
one of the values of having a very small school is that we can adapt quickly to changes in society, changes in industry, and in the future of work. The reality is with technology, everything is changing quickly, and some of the much larger schools are slow to change and adapt. Whereas we can say, okay, very quickly, aviation sector, for example, a lot of countries outside of Europe are just starting to catch up as they grow their middle class. So they're building airports, they're launching new airlines, and they need people to manage those industries. And so aviation management made sense because there's thousands of new jobs being created and not enough people to fill those roles. And then after COVID hit, when COVID hit and aviation shut down, all the older people retired. And when COVID ended, they didn't come back. So now there's empty roles across the industry, and we're trying to fill that gap. And as you mentioned, data analytics is another one. It's just obvious, and we couldn't even predict what was going to happen with AI and ChatGPT, but it just increases the need for people to understand the power of data and what you can do with data in a business environment. And that's what we're trying to do, is create the business leaders of tomorrow. And you can't be a leader if you don't understand technology and how it impacts the business space.
Super, super. And coming back to the course actually regarding the semesters, like I have seen, like we have 3 intakes a year.
Yes.
So then actually like once the student applies and once they get here, like how is the academic calendar is being designed? Could you explain on this?
Actually, so we're a very international school. We have students from all over the world, and everybody is on a different academic calendar in home country. So we do 3 intakes to recognize the fact that people graduate at different places in the world at different times, and we don't want them to have to wait. So we do acceptance on a rolling basis. We bring students in September, kind of a traditional fall based on the American calendar, because we're the American Institute. We bring students in January for a winter term, and we bring students in at the end of April for our spring term. Each term is 12 weeks long, so just 3 months, so it moves kind of quickly. And each academic year has 3 terms in it. So students will go through 3 terms each year. Our master's program is 2 years, so it's a total of 6 terms.
All right. So do we have any internship facility during this master's program?
So internship is a great question. So we can't make an internship required because we still have to work within the framework of Swiss law around work permits and student visas. So when a student gets accepted here, they'll get a student visa that allows them to travel all over Europe. They get a Schengen visa, but it doesn't allow them to work. So in order to work in Switzerland, you have to get a separate approval for that. And we can't guarantee it, so we don't make internships a requirement. They're just strongly encouraged. And most of our students in the master's program will do an internship, and they get credit for those internships. So instead of taking particular electives, you would replace that with your internship for up to 3 courses.
Super, super.
Yeah. And while we don't do direct placements, we do a lot of industry visits. We have opportunities for students to network in the professional spaces across Switzerland and talk to other students. And so we'll help them with interview skills, with doing their CVs to make sure that they are best prepared to go out there and secure the internships when they find them.
Right. So while actually interacting with some more students in the ground floor, I observed that actually when I got to know that the previous alumni from us actually they are doing quite well. Thank you very much for doing all this great support. So could you explain me about actually about what is your interaction, how you find so far the Indian students here, like with the previous batches, and actually how do you find them actually doing it now in their lives? Could you just throw some light on this?
Well, sure. I mean, I think there's a group that just came in about a month ago, and they're still adjusting. It is a big adjustment for anyone who has never lived internationally, but luckily our entire student body is international. And so they've got a lot of peers that can help them adjust and give them support. They know what it's like to move, not just from a different country, but from a country outside of Europe, because we have students who come from Central Asia, who come from India, who come from the Middle East or Africa. And so the transition to Switzerland can be a lot. But we're also in a very small town and a small community, so it makes it a little bit easier to adjust to not having to navigate a big city. Most of our students stay within a 5-minute walk from campus. It's very quiet here, very peaceful. I've seen our Indian students down by the lake taking in the sunset. It's a beautiful environment. When people back home ask me what it's like to live here, I say it's postcardish. It's like everywhere you look, it's like being in a postcard. And our new students have taken full advantage of that. And I constantly see them walking around the town and just enjoying the natural environment.
Super. And regarding the accommodations also, I have been to a couple of the hostels, actually, like what AUS has been providing.
Yeah.
And I don't see that actually a student hostel anyway,
Yeah.
because I see they are having all the 5-star facilities.
It's very nice. I mean, Switzerland is, it's a very nice place, and even your most basic accommodations in Switzerland are generally going to be at a level higher than you find even in the rest of Europe, let alone outside of Switzerland. And that's what Switzerland really prides themselves on. It's a certain quality, it's a certain level of service delivery and hospitality. So even the student accommodations, as you say, they're not as basic as one might assume student accommodations would be. And that's also because our student accommodations are not traditional dorms. They're actually hotels or former hotels that have been converted. And so, yeah, they're nice.
That's why I find actually like them not general student dorms.
Yeah.
Normally in other countries when I've been there, I seen there are student dorms where actually one small common kitchen and then the rest all the sharing rooms. But I find here all the hostels which actually took me, and the minimum pricing one itself was looking like a 5-star.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's a shared room, but you share with only one other person, and it's still very nice accommodations. And it's very close to campus. You've got restaurants on the ground.
So that is something actually like I have also spoke to some of the students, and they find it more like home. So could you please elaborate much about the safety and security? What students
Switzerland in general is a very safe country, but because we're in a small town, we're about an hour outside of Geneva. The population here is only 10,000, but it feels much bigger because we're so close to other major towns with Montreux on one side and Lausanne on the other side. So students will have access to a very urban environment, but they're kind of in a bubble, and it's a very safe place. And I tease my wife when we go out that, hey, don't forget we're in Switzerland, so when I'm ready to leave, I'm just going to leave. You'll be fine. Like, I don't worry about her getting home at night or walking the streets at night because I know it's safe around here, and so I don't worry too much about it. Sometimes if I have to run a quick errand, I won't even lock my door because I know everything's going to be fine. Nobody's going to go into my apartment or anything like that. And so, yeah, it's one of the nice things about it. Our campus is just a few blocks from the local high school and local elementary school. And when students move here, one of the things that's kind of a culture shock is that those schools don't have an enclosed yard. The students are just out playing in the town square as you're walking to and from your supermarket or to and from the student accommodations. And so it's just a big community and everybody feels safe around each other.
Super. So that is actually great interacting with you, Professor. And I really look forward to see you in India doing a presentation to our students who are going to come in future.
Absolutely, absolutely. I look forward to coming, and I look forward to welcoming more of your students here on the ground in Switzerland.
Definitely. That's the minimum thing which I'll do it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor.
Okay.
Thanks.
Please do subscribe to Videsh Consultz channel and click on the bell button to get regular updates about Europe.